Hi guys, welcome to this video. This is day 2 of your Clickbank Quick Start. What I wanted to do in this video is talk about what makes a good product. How do you know when you pick a product from Clickbank that it will actually convert? I'm going to run through some things which is really simple here, but it will give you some insights. And then tomorrow what I'm going to do is go more in depth about stats and gravity and what it all means and so on. If you don't know, my name's Chris Jones. I have been working online for 17 years, an old man of working online, and I've been using Clickbank since 2004, 2005 time. I started off as an affiliate, made my living as an affiliate, and then built 50 products from the ground up. Some of them were top sellers, #1 sellers, and some of them just made an income and were sold on, and most of them ended up being good wage earners, like wage replacers, but didn't get to the #1 spot or anything like that. But I've had a good number of #1 sellers as well, and I've put together this course. If you're starting off as an affiliate, that's who it's geared up for. If you want more help than this, because I understand YouTube is like, sometimes you can go through videos and you're like, there's not enough information here, what do I do? I've put together a more in-depth guide. I've put the link in the description below. It will take you through to this page. It's cbprofitsacademy.com/challenge. So if you want a complete challenge to get your first sale and you want to get going quicker, okay, you don't want to wait for these videos, you just want to get in and get straight on with this free challenge, this will guide you through. I set the whole thing up. I wish it existed when I got started. It didn't. There wasn't even YouTube when I got started. Woe is me. But I set it up like that. So if that's you watching this video that's just starting out, or you're getting frustrated with Clickbank, go and join this challenge. It's only a challenge insofar as it will help you get your first sale. You don't have to challenge yourself. Just go through the videos, do what it says, and you'll be moving along. It will guide you through all of it. Okay, so do check that out. The link's in the description and it's totally free. You'll get 10 days of content. You'll get a video a day. Follow the video, do what it says, and then in 10 days you'll be set up to make money. 10 days or less. You'll understand how to send traffic, how to pick products, going far more in depth and so on. So I'll leave the link below. Do check it out. Do give us a like as well. I'd appreciate your support. And let me tell you how you can pick a good product. So I want to give you an insight here, okay? So before we start looking at the Clickbank marketplace, for those that don't know, it's just a marketplace full of Clickbank products, and you can promote any of these as an affiliate. Most of them you don't even have to get approval on. You can just get your Clickbank ID, put it in, and start receiving commissions from your link, okay? But how do you know what makes a good product or a good niche area to actually promote? And I want to run you through the basics, and then all these stats and how much you get paid and what gravity means and all of this stuff I'll talk about tomorrow. But for now, this is really important. So when we're talking about what constitutes a good product to promote, really simple, has to solve a problem. We know that, you know that. It has to solve a problem. If it doesn't solve a problem, then it's probably not a good product to promote. Here's the thing. The bigger the problem and the more urgent it is, the better niche area it is, okay? So I'll talk about that in a second because there's different types of problem, but A would be solves a problem, okay? We know that. If you look at all the Clickbank products, they will solve a problem. Learning a language, if you're doing a language course, it's solving a problem. You want to be able to speak the language. If it's a dieting guide, it's solving a weight problem or an outcome problem. You want to get to that outcome to weigh less, and that's what it's doing for you. So these things help you solve a problem. Now I've put here B, thing to remember is hard to solve. You could do a guide that would solve a big problem. How to do a Windsor knot in a tie. Well, a lot of people don't know how to do that, okay? So you could do a guide on it, but no one's going to buy it, because if you look up on YouTube how to do that, you'll see information how to do that. And essentially you'll see information how to do dieting and all of that, but I will talk about that in C. But when you're looking at a product, you want to it wants to be a big problem with an urgent need to solve it, but it has to be something that's not readily available online. Now a lot of stuff is, but that brings us to C, where you want to have an insight or a different take. Okay, so what I mean by that, when we're talking about a weight loss guide, a really good example, well, you could go here on YouTube and you could look up weight loss videos, and there'll be plenty of videos and exercise programs for free that would help you. So why would anyone buy a guide? Why would anyone buy a program? Well, we know that weight loss programs are selling really well, so it's down to an insight or a different take, like the was it Tim Ferriss that did, just popped into my head, the 4-hour work week. You know, there's lots of books on outsourcing and how to outsource for business and so on, but it wasn't strictly about that. It was on about his story. It was about his take on how to do it and how he discovered and talks more. So essentially it is an outsourcing guide, if you will, but there's a lot more in it, and it's wrapped around this story. So without getting too complicated here, people need to feel, if the product's going to sell and it's going to be a good niche, they need to feel that they're going to get an insight or a different take than they would normally from the free stuff. And I'll give you an example of one of the guides that I did to explain this so it makes sense. So you can see here D, I've put not always outcome based. When we're talking about an insight or different take, a lot of the guides that I did on Clickbank I created myself, and they were gaming guides. Okay, so they were like how to be better at a game, and most of these guides I actually had ghost written, and the videos I had a really good player make the videos. Okay, so I actually outsourced the work, and I had someone make the videos and make it a really cool guide. And if you look at a game, for those of you that aren't into games and so on, it will make sense though what I'm saying. If you look at a game like Call of Duty, a shooting game, you can find plenty of information how to get better at that game for free on YouTube. You can find plenty on the internet, on Google. So why would anyone buy a guide? And it's mainly because the information is readily available in front of them, and this particular guide was from one of the top players in the world that actually designed the videos. So they had taken part in all of those gaming conventions they do in California and so on, and competitions. So that was the main different take that I'm talking about. That was, I'm not going to be able to get this information from this guy anywhere else, and that's what helped it sell. Okay, so another one, I'll give you another example, was a how to build a chicken coop guide. So I know a totally different niche, but you can find, if you type into Google how to build a chicken coop, you can find plenty of information on how to do that and a bill of equipment. But this particular guide was a video step-by-step guide on how to get it done. And yes, it's available on YouTube, and yes, it's available for free, but on the sales copy it had the story about why the guide was created and why the videos are different and why you get support and you get step-by-step help. So this is important to remember. It's not always outcome based. Sometimes people buy for the support, sometimes people buy for the ease of access, and some people buy, like the Call of Duty guide, not for an outcome but for a intrinsic sort of value that they will get from being the better player with their friends, getting better at the games, not getting beaten all the time every time they boot up the game. So I'll just give you a quick, so this makes sense. We know it solves a problem. This bit's easy, okay? We know it has to solve a problem. When I'm saying hard to solve, I'm just saying the bigger the problem and the harder it is to fix is normally going to make a better niche area, because there's going to be some urgency there. Okay, this bit, okay, doesn't have to be that difficult. Insight or different take is just like this, wrapped around the story. You like their story, you want the support, you like their materials. Okay, so it could be you've been on a journey with them and they've got a lot of free stuff and you want to buy their guide, or it could be that they're going to give you an insight that you can't get anywhere else, like the Call of Duty guide with a pro player guiding you through and making you a better player. And just remember that it doesn't mean that the intention behind buying is always outcome based, like i.e. to make more money, to lose weight. Sometimes it's more how they will feel and where they want to be. Like with the Call of Duty guide, yes, they'll be a better player, but the reason that's sold is because they won't you know, they're going to do it in private and not tell their friends, and then they're going to get on the game and they're going to be like, what have you done? Have you had pro training and all of that stuff? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. That's the first thing. That's the first, when you're picking a product, before we go into it, if you understand those 4 points, we could do more, but these will definitely help you as a beginner, or if you're struggling with this stuff. Make sure that your product solves a problem. Make sure that it's not available all around the web and really easy to solve, like how to tie a Windsor knot in a tie. Make sure, if possible, look at the sales copy and see, is there a story there that's different? Is there, I'll give you some examples of these in another video, but is there an insight or a different take that you can't get anywhere else? And D is, remember that it doesn't always have to be outcome based. It could be for how they're going to feel, which is an outcome, but it's more ethereal. Okay, so that will help you. And then what we do tomorrow is look through these figures and I'll explain them to you and what they mean, and what and the sort of second part, picking a product, but the stats that you should bear in mind, and then we can have a look at the sales copy and so on, and then you're far more likely to pick a product that will actually sell, rather than shooting in the dark and just picking one that everyone picks. Now you know what actually makes a really, really good niche area. Do check out the Clickbank challenge. It's a free guide, step by step, a 10-day course for you, and it will go far more in depth and give you some download materials and support as well. There's full support in there, so do check that out. It's totally free. The link's in the description. I hope that helps, guys. If it does, give us a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.